What's going on, Winning Shot family? We are back with another episode as promised. We are on the eve of the NBA Finals, so we wanted to bring you guys a special episode. We're just gonna talk about some NBA content for the next hour or so. Um, I think when we left off, like Ant was still in the playoffs. We had on the other side, Tyrese was still dealing with the New York Knicks, but since then, the Knicks have been eliminated. Tom Thibodeau has been fired. So we got a lot of content coming your way before we even get to the finals coverage. So let's talk about the Eastern Conference Finals, Hundo. Your team, the New York Knicks, sadly got eliminated by the Pacers 4-1. Um, they no 4-1 or 4-2.
4-2.
Well, it don't matter. Y'all on the couch with us. So I'm gonna let you get the floor. I want you to talk about the series, how you feeling as a Knicks fan, and we'll talk about the game before we actually talk about the offseason moves y'all have already made.
Yeah. Um like I sent to you, I think them boys was defeated after that first game for real. Like they came back and won, what was it? Game because they was down what 3-1?
Yeah,
And they
came
won,
back
they
up
won
to me.
one. Yeah, they won what so what was that 5? So they won game
Yeah,
5?
yeah, they
Yeah.
won game 5. So it's going to game
But
6.
really, them boys was defeated after game 1, bruh. I think I
Yeah,
think that I think that that put the nail in the coffin, man. Them boys was up 17 and blew the game, bro. Like we had never seen something like that before, bro. These jokers was up 9 points with 50 something seconds left, bro, and blew the game, bro. Like,
yeah,
yeah, and then that last game, it just didn't look like them boys wanted to be out there for real, bro. Like them boys was cooked for real.
absolutely. I think, man, there was a lot of thoughts I had with this game. I think the thing that you've been saying the whole playoffs has just been Jalen Brunson's playing style. And I think that was the most glaring with this series. I think it was game 5 or game 6. Um, they put the clamps on Jalen Brunson. They threw Nimhard at him. They threw Neesmith at him, and he couldn't do anything. And it seemed like the offense was stagnant. But the moment that they took him out, it seemed like the offense was flowing again. And I really do feel like there has to be some kind of off-season evaluation about, who can play with Brunson? How can we continue to win with him being on the court? Because it seems like I have to look at the plus or minus, but it seems like y'all are a lot more efficient when he's off the floor.
Yeah, and like you said, bro, I've been saying it all season, bro. Like, and I'm glad people see it now. But now the conversation is on cat defense. It's just like, bro, like let's focus on the real problem here. Like we know Cat is not a defensive stopper, a defensive juggernaut. Like Brunson, we got to figure something out on the offensive end. Like you said, like who can play with him for one, and then two, like looking forward in the offseason, it's just like what moves are y'all gonna try to make? Like everybody talking about Cat defense. So are you gonna trade Cat? Are you gonna keep Mikhail and OG and Josh Hart around Brunson's? Like what is that gonna look like? So I'm more
Yeah.
interested to see what's gonna happen in the offseason. Like you said, offseason already started with Tibbs getting fired. So we gonna see, man.
Yeah. So with it being the Eastern Conference Finals as a Knicks fan, is this a success for y'all?
I think so. I think when the news came across that they fired Tibbs, I was low key kind of shocked because I thought he had saved his job by getting them to the Eastern Conference Finals. I know people there were whisperings about him possibly getting fired early in the playoff series when the playoffs first started, but after this run, I thought he was safe, but clearly not. We heard Mikhail throughout the season talking about the minutes situation early in the season. He was one of the first ones to come out and say, "Yo, we got guys on the bench that can play." So I know that was probably a huge part of it. And they probably felt like they said, like they reached their ceiling with Tibbs at the coach. But we gonna see, man. It's gonna be some big shoes to fill for whoever comes in because, like I said, we just got to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in years.
Yeah. So, I think a lot of the flack um, on Tibbs came from the fact that he wasn't going to his bench. That's what I keep seeing on Twitter. That's what I keep hearing from a lot of the commentators. But, like you said a couple of episodes ago, terms of the bigs and the front court, it was really minimal. After Cat, Mitch Robinson, you're not throwing precious shooters out there, especially this late in the season. And he gave some minutes to Devon Wright, he gave some minutes to Landry Shamet. I just don't know what else he could have done. I know, like after game 3, they put Josh Hart on the bench and him come off the bench as the energy guy. I just don't know what else he could have done with this roster because it seems like he really pulled everything he could with currently with the starters, I would say.
Yeah, and like you said, like everybody was talking about how he didn't go to the bench. My thing is, bro, look at the bench. Who's on the
Yeah,
bench?
right.
Like
Exactly.
even though he made that decision to go with Shamit and DeLon Wright, it's just like, bro, like they aren't necessarily winning you a game. They aren't going to come in and produce half as much as the starters. And there was a significant drop off between the starters and the bench. Like it was one point where we were only playing 6 or 7 people.
Yeah.
With Miles McBride being one of them. We know what's going to happen when he get in the game. He's shooting. That man don't
He
see
don't
a
see a
shot he
shot
don't
he can't
like.
miss.
Yeah, he's pulling every time. And
Yeah.
and the lack of depth down low, I think that was big, especially when you saw Cat getting in foul trouble and he was banged up. We got to factor that in too. In the minutes, Mitchell Robinson had only played a few games before the playoff series, so the depth down low just wasn't there. Not to say that was the reason that we lost, but definitely like looking forward, looking ahead, got to get depth down low. You got to get a bench. Essentially, you got to have a bench, bro. Like you can't
Yeah.
blame the man for not going to the bench. And it's just like, bro, like look at the bench, bro. Look at the roster, bro. Who's going to
Yeah.
come in and contribute significantly, consistently?
Yeah, that's real. So let's go over to the Pacers real quick. So I think the biggest advantage that the Pacers have had over any team in the finals has been their pace of play. I think a lot of teams weren't ready for that for 7 game series because they play at one speed. They don't go slower, they don't go faster. And I think that kind of wears down on teams as you progress throughout the series. So like when you're talking about, getting that game 5, I believe, you have to come back to game 6 and they're playing the same pace. And I don't think that teams are necessarily built for that team's pace and their depth because you have Benedict Mathurin, who wasn't getting a lot of minutes, but you still had him on the bench. You had Neesmith. You could go to Obi Toppin. They had Ben Shepherd, and they just kept throwing healthy bodies at you. And I think that kind of wore down the Knicks over time. So, how did you feel about the Pacers' strategy, not only just with this series, but over the entire playoffs? Because they beat the Cavs, they beat the Knicks.
Yeah, I think they know what they have and they play to their strengths.
Yeah,
When like we talked about a couple episodes ago, like Halliburton's ability to both score and facilitate is big. Um, you look at the Knicks series, even after made baskets, Siakam was beating people down the court. It's just
yeah,
like, yo, Mitchell Robinson backpedaling, looking for somebody to guard. It's just like, bro, like, get back. Like, so I don't necessarily think it was like I don't know what word I'm looking for, like strategy or like a constant pressure on the Knicks to like try to keep up with their style. But I think it was just more so of like bro, like you just have to get back, bro. Like literally like get back on defense, bro. Like find somebody to guard, bro. Like I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. Like I think that like I said, like the Pacers know what they got, like they know their strength. Everybody knows that if you get them in the half court, you got a shot. But it's getting them in the half court. So
yeah.
whether that's not crashing the offensive boards and getting 2 or 3 people back to slow down the transition, maybe, but we gonna see, man.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, like our coach he would always make us run when the ball went through the basket and we let it touch the floor. And he was like citing like John Calipari at that time. He said like John Calipari had this quote. He said, even after a made basket, you can have a fast break. Just get out and run. So a lot of teams, and what I saw from the Pacers, like they didn't even let the ball touch the floor. Once you made the basket, like you could be celebrating. Pascal was down the floor, and I think that kind of was the benefit of them running that double big lineup with him and Miles, where Pascal knew he probably wasn't going to get 10 rebounds a game. He knew that if Miles got the rebound, he was going to take off down the floor. And it just puts pressure on your defense because regardless if he gets an open layup or if somebody's down there, it's most likely going to be your guard cherry picking.
Mhm.
That's going to put a lot of mismatches and is going to give him to the free throw line and one opportunities. I think that's where he racked up a lot of his points. It's going to be interesting to see how the Thunder adapt to that. But I think Carlisle's strategy was going into the season. I don't know necessarily into this series, but going into the season, I think they looked at the roster and said, "We're not going to beat Boston just going head up in the front court. I mean, in the half court. Like we're going to have something that constantly puts pressure on your defense, get you in foul trouble, or just get fast break points in order to keep games high, high pace, high scoring, and we'll have a chance at the end. We'll give it to Tyrese. So
And,
like, go ahead.
and I'll add too, like going back to like knowing what they have too, it's like they built this roster to be like athletic, fast, big, can
Yeah,
run. Like Miles Turner is not a traditional big, he can stretch the floor. Siakam, we know he's athletic, 6'9", can move. So like you look at the Knicks, you got Mitchell Robinson, a traditional center, like not really posing a threat on the offensive end, can't really move the greatest. You got Cat, doesn't want to be a five, has to play the four, a stretch four, but also not that fast. So it's like when you have those advantages, when you have the athletic players, when you have the ability to run in that size, like I said, Siakam 6'9" and can move. So
yeah.
hey, it ain't too much you can do when you got Cat and Mitchell Robinson, and then if you decide to go small with OG at the four, he just not big enough.
Yeah, and I think like I talked about in the Substack article, like I think this is the perfect role for Siakam. Like I think when Kawhi left, we were trying to anoint him as that top tier star in the East, and I don't ever think he was meant for that. He's not meant to be Jason Tatum. He's meant to be in the background, and I think that's where he really thrived. Like you go look at the playoff series with when they went to the finals, like so many teams were keying on Kawhi. He was able to. I think he was averaging like 20 in the finals, and a lot of it came from being that second option and being a reliable second option. And I think because Indiana is not just like a fast paced team, but they're also a small market team. So nobody was really like honing in on Indiana games. He was able to flourish in a role that now we see like it was pretty impactful going into this final series.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
How do you feel about Tyrese? Well, I won't say stole, but how do you feel about Pascal getting the Eastern Conference MVP and not Tyrese?
um, I low key felt that Halliburton should have gotten it. Um, I get that Siakam had three 30-point games or something, but I feel like Halliburton is the engine that keeps this thing going. I think without even you go back to game one, like he had that big shot to send it to overtime. Like he missed that shot,
Yeah,
it changed the series.
yeah,
So I mean, off that first game alone, he should have got it.
yeah. Now I agree with you, bro. I think Siakam does definitely deserves his credit having those 2 30-point games. But I think a lot of that production came because of Halliburton, because Halliburton can control the pace. He is the one that's engineering that entire offense. And like you said, in that game one, not just that game, but even the Cavs game, both of his shots have really turned the series around. Game two, if he doesn't make that shot, Cavs probably would have still been in it. This game, Mitchell Robinson, if he even blocks that shot or misses the shot, we don't even know if Indiana would have won the series.
Right.
So I just feel like his impact is like not always seen through the stat sheet. But I think low key, this could have been the best thing that happened for Indiana because he's been slighted the entire season with the overrated comments, the comments with him coming back with the ring, the Olympic gold medal. And I think this is what the final straw for him to have a dominant finals. And so I think that if he can go out and prove people wrong once more, and be Finals MVP, none of that even matters.
Yeah, we gonna see, man. Like I texted you, man. I hope he just don't come to the finals and just fold, bro. If
Yeah,
he come out there and wet the bed, bro, and just looks bad, bro, and like turn the ball over, can't score, like doing the opposite of what he's doing or been doing, they gonna be on his head, boy.
yeah. So I know we talked about the who better, but is Tyrese Halliburton better than Jalen Brunson?
I don't know. What did I say the last time? Didn't we rank
I
them?
forgot.
Did we rank them?
Yeah, I think we did the all
I wanna.
four of the stars.
Yeah, because it was Ant, Shea, Jalen Brunson,
Tyrese and yeah, Tyrese.
Tyrese. Uh, I don't know, bro. Me personally, I probably would say yes because I like traditional point guards, and you already know I don't like how Brunson be playing. So
Yeah,
I probably would have to go with Halliburton. Me personally,
yeah, yeah. I think, like you said, traditional point guards piece. Low key though, it's just I feel like I can do more with Halliburton. I feel like with Brunson, like you're gonna get the big shots and get to the free throw line, but I think even his game, I think Tyrese offers me a little bit more. He can, he has the size to be a traditional point guard, but I feel like he also can play off the ball too, and I think that's going to be a skill for him. Going to this next series that we'll talk about. But yeah, so I guess going to the offseason since we're here, we talked a little bit about the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau getting fired 2 days ago, I believe. Actually, yesterday, I think. Um, is there anybody in your mind that you can think would be the perfect candidate to take this job and take y'all back to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I don't know, bro. Like I feel like it has to be somebody with like some championship pedigree. I mean, the first person that comes to mind is Mike Malone, but then it's just like I said earlier, like he got some big shoes to fill, and New
Yeah,
York is not Denver. Like the media is gonna be on his head. And like I said, them boys just got to the Eastern Conference Finals. You gotta either do that or better.
yeah,
Like you can't. And then once again, like what is the roster gonna look like? Are y'all thinking about trading Cat? Is Cat still gonna be on the roster? Like, are you? Like I said earlier, a few episodes ago, like I think this starting five is gonna be intact going into next year. I don't know now. You got a new
mhm.
coach coming in. People complaining about Cat defense. Maybe you can get an upgrade for Josh Hart. I don't. We're gonna see, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what they decide to do in the offseason.
Have you heard the Jay Wright rumors?
Yeah, I saw something about that. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
He might be comfortable commentating, man.
yeah, I agree. I just don't get the Mike Malone talk. Like, it sounds good, but I mean, he had problems in the locker room with Denver. I think there'll be more people that are bought in defensively with New York, but I just don't see it being a drastic change because the thing with Mike Malone is like he was able to galvanize people, but there was never a time where I was like, man, like this was a great play from Mike Malone. And maybe just because I wasn't as tapped in with Denver basketball, but I think a lot of it came from the fact that they were good defensively their championship year, and I think you had Joker. so so I don't know if that's necessarily going to translate over to New York. I know we talked earlier offline with the Ime Adoka rumors. I like it. I think Ime will probably be the best fit in terms of coaching. I just don't know if I'm him, do I leave Houston in that situation? So
Like we talked about. I guess we can have this conversation now since we on the topic. But I don't know, bro. I feel like if he wants to win a championship, I think the Knicks are closer than the Rockets are. But like you said, when you look at it from an outlook perspective, like 3-4 years down the road, yeah, like you got pieces in Houston. You got the ability to go out, get another star if you need to with the young pieces that you have. So from that perspective, he might want to stay in Houston. But if he wants to win a championship right now, yeah, come on over to New York, brother. We would love to
yeah,
have you. Get that get that defense right. because it was terrible this year under allegedly defensive coach.
Is Rick Brunson an option?
Nepotism. Don't do that, man.
Yeah, that's how he got there.
Don't do that, man. That's gonna be the Brunson Knicks. We're good. first order of business: trade your son.
Nah, but I think they were talking about the assistant Jordan Ott. I think he was the assistant for the Cavs, if I'm not mistaken.
The one that
Um,
just went to Phoenix.
okay, it was whichever one didn't get the job. They were talking about him going to the Knicks. Um, yeah, I don't know. And this is the tricky situation because of this Jason Tatum injury. You know, like we talked about with some other teams in the East, it's like we don't know what the East is going to look like. And if y'all, I think stability matters. And if y'all would have come back to the same team, same coach, same voices in the locker room, who knows what y'all would have done this year? Because a lot of the scrutiny this regular season came from the fact that y'all weren't able to beat the good teams. And I don't even know how we're going to look this year. And if Jason Tatum's down, that's one good team you don't have to worry about. Now, obviously, you don't know what the 76ers is going to do. Some of these other quote
Do
unquote
you
contenders. Go ahead.
question? Since we talking about the East, what do you think about the Cavs next year? Do you believe in them?
No, I don't believe in terms of going to the finals. No, I think you have to make some moves to that roster. And I think there have been some rumors about Darius Garland, but even healthy, I don't know if this team would have necessarily won an NBA finals. So, and we got to get some more offensive production from Mobley. I think
Yeah,
it can't be on. It looked too much like Utah this during this playoffs, trying to just rely on Donovan Mitchell, and I don't think that's going to be a recipe for any championship team.
yeah, yeah. I think the East is gonna be wide open next year, especially with Dame going down with the Bucks. Like you said, we don't know what's going on with the 76ers. We hear about the Raptors potentially trying to make a big move.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of open air, open space. The Magic can't
yeah.
sleep on them.
I'm about
So
to
we
say,
gonna see, man. We gonna see. But I definitely think that, like I said before, like the Knicks starting five should be intact. But we gonna see, man. We gonna see.
yeah, yeah. All right, so we talked about the last episode. It's crazy how they just went through the Wolves, but the Thunder went up 4-1, so they're advancing to the NBA Finals. Um, Obviously, a disappointing performance from AE and the Timberwolves. And that last game I watched, it seemed like it was already over. Like Jaden McDaniels missed one shot in the corner, and he started shaking his head before he even got to the rim. And I'm like, yeah, these guys don't want to be here. Um, so let's talk briefly on the Timberwolves. So we talked about last time that everybody is on the table, right? I think you text me offline and it was like even Nas Reed. Like we gotta at least inquire about some of these people. Um, so what's your stance on the Timberwolves? And
Yeah.
are we ready to get rid of Julius, or are we gonna keep him around?
Well, after that last performance, everybody except AE is on the board. Everybody, everybody is you can make a call about them. We listening. Um Nas Reed, sadly, man, he disappointed me, man. He disappointed me, man. I expected more from Nas, man. I was hoping, he would ball out so he could show people that, I'm a starting caliber player in this league, and maybe he can go somewhere and start. But I don't know if it's gonna be the Timberwolves, man. After that last series, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. They might have to have some conversations about Rudy or Nas, moving forward. Um, but yeah, man, everybody except my bad. Everybody except AE and Jaden. Jaden can stay too because we need his defense. But
Yeah.
everybody else, yeah, bye bye.
Okay. So what happened? Like because when we talk going into the series, when the Warriors lost to the Timberwolves, we were like roster for roster, we can say that this is a competitive series. But
Yeah.
as soon as game 2 happened, it was like, okay, the Thunder are much better than the Timberwolves. Do you think this is more about the Timberwolves cowering down, being scared at the moment, or is this just the Thunder just that much better than them?
I think the Thunder are just better. I don't think the Timberwolves are a team that's like, afraid of the moment or like afraid of any other teams, especially since like they were there last year. They were in the same situation last year against Dallas. So
Yeah.
I mean they had been there, they had the experience. So it's not like you nervous. It's just like, bro, you got to come to hoop. And I think that that Thunder defense, specifically, man, Caruso, man, shout out to Caruso, man, because boy, Nas Reed, boy, you a bum. I'ma say it, you a bum. You too big to be playing like that, bro. You supposed to dominate Caruso, and I know Caruso's a versatile defender and all of that, and blah blah. Bro, he's 6'4".
Bro, he was
Be
guarding Jokic.
be a man. Nas Reed,
Now,
you disappointed me, man. You disappointed me, Nas.
yeah. And I think that's really the conversation, because they went box on one on AE, and their role players just couldn't buy a bucket. And I think what it really comes down to is the Thunder's role players were just much better offensively and defensively than the Thunder. I mean, than the Timberwolves. And then, like you said, I gotta admit when I'm wrong. Mike Conley got too many minutes. It's time for Mike to hang it up, because trying him out there, it was like a liability on both ends, and I just didn't want to see Mike go out like that. Yeah. How are you? How safe is Chris Finch this offseason?
I think he's fine. I think it's more so about that roster. Like I said, previous episodes, bro. Like him and AE are locked in, bro. When that, like I said, when that man got hurt last year, AE was riding for that man, bro. Them, he good. He good. His job is safe. They just gotta get the right pieces.
Yeah, but the thing is with Chris Finch is like, we applaud you for getting there, but at some point, who can get us over the hump? And we can't just blame roster, because there was just some strategy that I think Deaton from the Thunder employed that I didn't see any changes or any dramatic shifts with the Timberwolves.
Let's not forget this Thunder team won 68 games. This Timberwolves team was the sixth seed. Let's not forget that.
I hear you. It's just we make this excuse for the Timberwolves every season. Like at some point, you have to take accountability for your actions, and you're losing. Like, because the thing is, next year what we're gonna do? AE's gonna have some highlight moments. They're gonna be, in the middle of the West. They're probably gonna knock off a good team in the first round. We're gonna talk about Legend Killer. Oh, the Timberwolves a scary team, and then when they wet the bed, it's like, okay, next season. And I'm like, okay, maybe the problem is we're not holding you accountable right now, Coach, GM, and AE.
Hey, it ain't gonna be no next season because after this next season, AE is gone. Blow it up. Let them not get over the hump again next year. AE gone. I'm telling you.
What's
When you
the
see that
what's
trade
the
request come in, and when you see Chris Finch has been relieved,
It's up.
it's up.
AG, Kevin Love, now AE. What's the best move that they can make this offseason?
I don't know. Maybe you try to flip those bigs you got. Um, I got to look at their contracts, but I mean, maybe you trade Rudy and Julius to try to get something else. Um, I don't know because in it all, like I said previously, it depends on what happens with those three bench players too. You got Dante, you got Nas, and you got Nikhil. So if they come back, um, that'll put them in a good spot. If not, they might look a little bit different next year. Like outside of AE, Jaden, and maybe Julius. I'm just me personally, I'm just not big on trading somebody that you just got. So like, yes, Julius might be probably the best piece that you could move that's on that roster, but you just got him. That's my whole thought process. Same thing with Cat. Like I don't know if I would move him. Like everybody's talking about his defense. I don't know if I would move him, bro.
Yeah, but I just can't unsee what I saw this series with Julius Randle though. It's like he had some good moments in the Warrior series, but I think he was pretty much shut down during this Thunder series. And I think AE needs a guy who can go get a bucket. I think mm, I don't know. Like the thing is with AE though, obviously I'm not making a direct comparison, but when I'm thinking about like the Jordan years, like the biggest thing with Phil Jackson was that Michael was leading and scoring the first part of his career, and he was making spectacular plays. But having a function within the triangle offense helped them that much more because it took the onus off of Michael to make plays every possession, and the defense had to worry about him off the ball. I think with AE playing this point guard role, he's in front of the defense. It's predictable. I can see what's going on. But I think if you move him around more, if he's more off the ball, then it will make him that that much better, in my opinion. So I really feel like you need just another scorer.
So if Mike Conley decides to retire, and who's that point guard that they should bring in?
I don't know what's available. I mean, you probably have to go to a sorry team. Could have McCollum worked? I don't know. I feel like McCollum's like on the last stretch. Anthony Simons from Portland. Like, buddy's a bucket. Like,
I mean,
I mean,
he
and he still
is.
got Rob Dillingham. Like, you still have a score right there on your bench. I don't know how he's been doing in practice or whatnot, but you have an option.
So you would want them to bring in a scoring point guard.
Yeah, somebody who can take the pressure, the ability to score and facilitate. You know who would be a secretly good piece on that roster? Nimhart.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I just don't know about his, point guard ability. I don't know. I know he's a good defender, and I know he can score a little bit. I mean, to ask him to be the second option though, eh,
Well, I mean, obviously this is college, but like he had to facilitate at Gonzaga. Like he's run the point before.
hold on, say that again. What school?
Gonzaga,
You said Gonzaga?
yes.
Oh, oh, okay. This is the NBA. You
I'm,
talking about
say-
some Gonzaga?
I'm saying he's played the role before. Like I think he can facilitate.
Yeah, I guess he ain't had to do that much in Indiana, so we gonna see.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else on the
Hold
Timberwolves?
on, hold on. Let's see how you facilitate in this series. How about
Right.
that? how about we do that? Let's see how you
This
facilitate this
series
series.
could be really cheap or really expensive. Right. I
This the
mean,
top
that's
defense.
yeah, that's true. You got anything else on the Timberwolves before we move over to the Thunder?
Nah, man, they just gotta get it right, man. Hopefully they build that roster up. We gonna see what they gonna look like too this offseason, especially with that roster. They got a lot of decisions to make. But if they don't get it right after this upcoming season, like I said, man, AE is gone.
Yeah. So, okay. Um, the Thunder have been the number one seed. I don't think a lot of people had them in the finals, but they've done their job. They beat everybody that was in front of them. Handled the Timberwolves 4-1, and SGA's come to play. And I think even in this series, we had some speculation about Jalen Williams and Chet, and I think they showed up as well. So the role players even came out to play, and like you said, Caruso, you're getting valuable minutes from bench guys. So this team looked unstoppable. Obviously, I think they can be exploited in the finals preview, like we'll talk about. But what were your thoughts on this series versus the Timberwolves? What would you come away with?
Yeah, that defense is serious, man. The amount of times they were deflecting passes, getting in the passing lanes, getting them out of their rhythm, getting the Timberwolves out of their rhythm was big. And like you said, the role players, man, whether it was Caruso, whether it was Wiggins, whether it was Case and Wallace, Isaiah Joe, Williams, yeah, they're a deep team, man. J Dub, Chet, both showed up. We were questioning them coming into the series, and they showed up. And that's all you can ask for if you're the Timberwolves. You know what SGA is gonna do. Um, so we gonna see if they can show up again. Chet,
Yeah,
J Dub, show up again. Finish the job.
yeah. So okay, SGA versus Ant. Who's better?
You don't have to go with SGA, man. I know I probably said Ant last week, but I'm gonna have to go SGA, man. Boy's bad. He's a bad man. Mr. MVP.
Yeah, that he's gonna be the first. He could be the first person to win the scoring title, MVP, and championship. I think if he does that, it's gonna have to have some interesting conversations because it's just like SGA's game is just so boring, but it's
Yeah,
just so effective.
yeah. And like if I were like starting a franchise and I had the number one pick and it was between them two, I'm probably still taking Ant. I'm sorry. But he gonna put butts in seats. He got the personality to lead a team, to be that guy. He know he's that guy. Um, so I would probably go with Ant still if I had like number one pick and those two are on the board. But yeah, SGA bad, man.
Yeah. So I guess we'll slide into this finals coverage. So we got game one tonight, 8:30. OKC versus the Pacers. If you haven't been tuned in already. All right. So we dropped some articles on Substack talking about just the keys for each team to win. What are your initial thoughts heading into tonight in the series?
Yeah, that pace of play is gonna be interesting. Can the Thunder will the Thunder be able to get back on defense and force Indiana to play in the half court? Try to muck it up a little bit, slow it down a little bit. But if you let Indiana get to 120, 140, it's gonna be a long game. You gotta try to make it uncomfortable for them. And then on the other end too is like, how is SGA going to deal with the pressure of Indiana? We saw Nembhard picking up full court against Brunson, slowing down the Knicks, getting them in late shot clock situations. So how are the Thunder going to respond to that? Because I know it's coming from Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm curious to know like what defensively the Pacers are going to do. If you're going to try to blitz him off of the pick and roll as soon as he crosses half court and try to get it out of SGA's hands and just really force the role players to win the game for you. Um, that probably would be the best strategy coming out with game one because I think this game is going at least six, in my opinion, and you have to knock the Thunder off of their rhythm. Everybody's coming in tonight with an idea of how they're going to win this game. I think if you can just throw them off the rhythm and force a Jalen Williams to beat you, force a Caruso, force a Chet to beat you, I think the Pacers will have a chance. Like you said, I think it has to be high scoring. But for the Thunder, we always talk about this idea of styles make fights. But the problem with the Thunder is they got multiple styles. So, they can play in the half court with
Yeah.
SGA, but they can also play up and down just like the Pacers because they have the same amount of depth as, the Pacers.
Yeah. That's a good point too. Like like you said, like they could beat you in a number of ways. They can lock you down defensively. They can sit down and make it ugly. They can run up and down the court and make it ugly that way.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's going to be interesting to see if the Pacers. I know they're going to switch it up throughout the series. So what they do in game one is definitely not what they're going to be doing in game three or game four. Um, but yeah, like Siakam, what kind of difference maker can he be? Um, will the Thunder, rely on that double big lineup again? How do they match up against Miles Turner and Siakam down low? So I think that's going to be a big part of it. The bigs down low. If Chet's able to stay on the court, stay out of foul trouble, give them something on the offensive end, they'll be fine. I low key think Jalen Williams is going to show up and have a good series, but we gonna see, man.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about all the bodies that the Pacers have because I would imagine, I would hope Benedict gets some minutes this game. Um, and I'm thinking, who does Caruso guard? Like, do you start him out on Tyrese? Like, do you go SGA on Tyrese?
They
What
got
do
Lou
you?
Dort.
Oh man, forgot about Lou. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Do you put Lou on Pascal?
You gotta go with Chet more than likely. If they have the double big lineup out there, I mean you got to match size, bro. Because Siakam's bullying whoever else is guarding him.
I mean, I don't think he's bullying Lou though, because Lou is strong. Like, you see Lou out there. Lou look like a linebacker.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
mean, I mean, yes, but then who's guarding Tyrese?
are you not putting SGA on him? Like, are you gonna hide SGA?
I know SGA is not a cone, but I'm not sold on his defense against Tyrese.
But who are you putting
I
him on?
think,
Debo?
yeah, yeah, that's more relaxed. You got to think. You got to think too. That man gonna be exerting energy on the offensive end too. So I mean, because the Pacers starters are who? Siakam, Miles Turner, Nembhard,
Nembhard, Miles Turner. You already said
Tyrese, and who else? Who's the fifth person? Is
you already
is
said Miles
Neesmith
Turner.
start?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be Neesmith starting out,
Yeah, or
and
you
then
could
you
put him on Neesmith. You
and then you
gotta
got
you
Ben
gotta
Sherman.
think them boys don't be running plays for them boys for real.
Yeah, I
Neesmith, if
mean,
anything, is just gonna be standing around.
whoever Neesmith's coverage is, like if it is going to be SGA, then I think you have to put him in screen and rolls and try to ISO him and Tyrese, try to get SGA in foul trouble. Like,
Yeah, but see, I don't know if that's their game
that's the thing, and that's
because
what they're hoping.
because we've seen the Thunder even last series exploit matchups like that. Will
Yeah,
and I mean to an extent, yes, they went at Cat, but that's a little bit different.
yeah, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to know how the refs are gonna call this game because I do think it's gonna be a physical matchup. What I'm thinking about is like, yeah, I hear you say Chet, but I just don't know Chet's ability to keep up um with Pascal because you got to presume that if Chet is taking the shot, then somebody's down the court, and it's most likely going to be Pascal. And if you say, hey, we're just going to take Pascal's 30 out of this game and just force Tyrese to beat you and just put Lou Dort on him the whole game, I think that's a more interesting matchup because Chet does foul and Chet has held his own versus the Timberwolves, but he does struggle defensively throughout the season.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't. I don't know, Brian. I don't think that. If anything, they put maybe Jalen Williams on Siakam. I could see that more than I see Lou Dort. I think Lou Dort's primary responsibility is going to be Tyrese.
Yeah.
I don't see them putting Lou Dort on Siakam. I can see Jalen Williams guarding Siakam, if not Chet. I think it's gonna be between Jalen Williams and Chet guarding Siakam. I don't think they'll put Lou Dort on him on Siakam. I get what you're saying with him being strong, but I think his best strength is being on the perimeter, not being in the post trying to defend.
Yeah. We'll see. So I guess on the other side, you're going Tyrese on
Lou
Jalen.
Dort, Lou Dort, easily,
Yeah,
easily.
high Tyrese, and then put who Neesmith on on SGA.
I would start with Neimark.
Yeah,
I think, bruh, looking at the numbers, bruh, I think Neimark is a better defender than Neesmith. Me personally, I think he's a better player than Neesmith in general, but
yeah,
defending
he's a better player.
when he was defending Brunson, they said Brunson was shooting 30-something%, bro. I said, ooh, put the clamps on that
Yeah.
boy.
Mm.
I think now Neesmith might get the first crack at SGA, but I think Neimark is gonna be the person that they look at to be like, yo, we need to stop. We need some stops. Go guard him.
Yeah, see, the only reason I said Neesmith starting out on on SGA was like his game, and SGA is going to try to draw the whistle. And I would rather Neesmith get in foul trouble first than Nimhard because I think Nimhard gives you a little bit more offensively. I mean, this is the things you got to think about. Like, I
Nah,
don't
I'm
know if
with
I.
you. And I told you before, Neesmith gets dumb fouls.
Yeah, he does. I don't know how this game's going to be called, and I think in Game 6 with the Knicks, they allowed Nembhard to play a little bit more physical with Brunson, and if he overexerts himself in this game, he could easily get in foul trouble. If he has three going in the half, that changes your whole offensive dynamic. I just think for bucket, Rick Carlisle wants this to be an offensive juggernaut. I don't know if
Mhm.
he wants to sacrifice any fouls or a change of strategy because of what's happening on the defensive end.
But also on the other hand, they are deep. They have gone to their bench a number of times and been fine. So why it's I'm like I don't want to say like that's like a playing scared mentality, but like bro, like this is the finals, bro. Like we're trying to win, and I understand it's a series, and you're gonna make adjustments throughout the series. But bro, we got to get this first game. So SGA need to see Neimark immediately set the tone, pick him up full court, and disrupt him.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, but I just think that you got to factor in everything. And because you have bodies, I feel like you can add that level of physicality with people who don't give you as much offensively. I mean, you got like obviously I'm just throwing out names, but like you've got Fouls and Neesmith, Ben Shepherd, T.J. McConnell. But if you say, "Hey guys, I'm gonna need that same production on offensive end," you can't trust that with anybody outside of Pascal, Tyrese, and Nembhard right now. They go get a half court bucket.
So So, what do you think is the best defensive strategy for the Pacers to guard SGA in game one?
Uh, condense the paint, make him see bodies where he is not driving, and honestly, kind of follow that same Timberwolves strategy. And it's like make the role players make threes. They make threes, hey, tip your hat. But I will put the pressure on SGA, make him not be able to drive, and every time he tries to drive, condense the paint and make him kick it out.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, like you said, the biggest piece of that is just going to be staying out of that foul trouble. Um, that's gonna be the big piece, and then hopefully Jalen Williams or Chet or whoever's out there missing shots.
that's the hope because this team's so good. We know
Yeah.
Chet could go 5 for 5, but he also could go 0 for 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So game one tonight, what's your prediction? What do you think is going to get it?
I think the Thunder are gonna win. Um, I'm they just got to make it a half court game, bro. If they can get back on defense, bro, and just slow them down a little bit, bro. Like I think they'll be fine. There's no, like you said, offensively, you got Tyrese, you got Nembhard, and you got Siakam. As we've talked about, Siakam, a lot of his buckets in transition, running, beating people down the court. Tyrese can control the game, but if you can make it a half court game, that changes things. I don't think Nembhard is that great of a scorer to be like, yo, go give me a bucket consistently if you make it a half court game.
Hmm. So do you have the Thunder in the series winning the finals?
Yeah, yeah, I got the Thunder winning the finals.
Yeah, I'm actually go Pacers game one tonight, but I still got the Thunder's winning the finals. I think they can steal game one. I think they're going to get blitzed game two, but I feel like with everything going on, in terms of this being the first time they're trying to get the finals for both teams, I like the Pacers' ability to go and steal game one tonight. I think it's going to be close, but I think they can steal it.
How do you think they'll get it done though?
Um, Kind of the same way with the Knicks, you know, just sticking around, not letting it get 20, 18-point leads, keep it within 10. Pascal gets some key buckets late. And I think if they can keep it within 4 to 5 late, I'll put the ball in Tyrese's hands, and I think Tyrese takes one. So I don't think they'll win the series. I just think the Thunder have too much, but this is still a young team, and I think Pascal's been there before in terms of what I'm saying finals, and his veteran leadership. I think they're able to at least still win in Oklahoma City.
So what you got the Thunder in what 6 games or 5 games or what 7 games?
I think I said it was going six. I could see five, especially if they don't get. I think that the Pacers need game one to establish a little bit of momentum. But I think it can go six. I think they get one here and one in Indiana, but the rest are going to be with Thunder. Yeah. Do you think this means more? This finals means more to Tyrese or SGA
As far as what like legacy or what?
legacy? Yeah.
Um, I would probably say Tyrese only because I don't know if they'll have an opportunity to get back. I think the Thunder are in a good position to, you know, be in the conversation, the Western Conference for years to come, with this roster. But I don't know. Like we talked about earlier, bro. Like the East next year is still gonna be wide open.
Yeah.
Like I don't trust the Pacers or the Cavaliers to do what they did, this past season again. So I just don't know if Tyrese will have another opportunity to get back to the finals. And we've heard that from a number of players throughout history. Like it's tough to get to the finals. Like you
Yeah.
got to have some luck and you got to be good. And I just don't know if they'll have another opportunity to get back if you're the Pacers. So definitely Tyrese.
Yeah. I agree with you, bro. Because of the fact that the narrative for him coming into the season, he was not even in a lot of top five point guards conversations.
I don't even
But
know if he's in the conversation now.
right. But if he gets to finals, he has something that he can bring to the table. Like I think, we were kind of talking about, why was he on the Olympic roster, right? And a lot of this overrated talk came throughout the season, but I think now you have to say NBA champion Tyrese Halliburton. And it's not one of those things where he just, rode somebody's coattails. He led this team in, a very hard path. They did have a lot of injuries that they faced, with teams they faced in, but he still led them there. And a lot of point guards can't say the same thing.
I kind of, as you were talking about it just now, the person that came to mind when you're talking about Tyrese is like Jalen Hurts. Like, yo, he just won a Super Bowl.
Uh,
Like he had Saquon, but like Is he a top 5 quarterback? I don't like. Are you? He has to be in that conversation now.
Yeah.
Like he has a chip. Like so. I mean, you can make
And
a
both of
case.
them have been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, like you said, over text, Tyrese can't go into this game wet the bed because now that conversation is going to be even more evident. But if he shuts us up by getting in Finals MVP and having an all time performance, you can't say anything now.
Right. Yeah. You can.
Yeah. So I guess like, are there any lasting thoughts? With the not just the finals, but also with the playoffs as a whole, leading us up to this point.
Yeah, I think a couple of episodes I asked the question about like the small markets being in the finals. Like if the Thunder and the Pacers were to match up, and neither one of us had both of them, making it to the finals. So
Yeah.
with that, what do you think? How does this impact the NBA? Moving forward with two small market teams being in the finals.
Yeah, it's a good question. Um, I think it's kind of validating everything we saw with the Luca trade. Um, when we talked about this idea of having a star that's getting 65, $70 million, I think Indiana's kind of reinventing how a lot of these teams that are like kind of fringe, contenders are going to shape their rosters because now you're saying, okay, if we can just go in free agency and go get a Ben Shepherd, an Aaron Neesmith, Benedict Maturin, we can at least compete and win, championships. Um, and I think for a lot of these smaller teams, that's going to be the strategy. Once you get your start, it's not going to be about building super teams anymore. Now, the thing is, though, I think it's going to be like 520 and then we're talking about today. Like it's a copycat league, but it could easily be the exact opposite for the Thunder because if the Thunder go out and lose the series, they went through a hard West just to lose to the Pacers. They probably easily can say with these assets, we're going to go get KD, we're going to go get a star and try to build a super team because of that. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think this is probably going to be one of the most eventful off seasons in terms of strategy for a lot of teams in a while, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. About how and really just like with both of these teams, like we talked about, like the depth and the ability to have these role players come in and contribute has been big. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what some of these other teams do in the offseason, whether they, go to the model of trying to get these role players or trying to build a super team. So you're gonna see.
Yeah, and a lot of these teams, like what I'm looking at with the Pacers, you got to look at your second star and say, hey, is it worth paying this guy the max, or can I trade this and just get a bunch of pieces that fills my bench? And it's a real question you got to have. We were talking about the Rockets. You got Sengun, you got an emerging star in Ben Thompson. What do you do with Jalen Green? Do I pay him a big sum of money, or do I just keep building my bench?
Yeah,
And it's teams like that you have to make some real conscious decisions about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be an interesting offseason, man, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, that's really all I got, man. Just thinking about this. I'm just ready for the off season. Like we can get back past the
At this
finals.
point, at this point, bro, because like I'm thinking about it now, like what you were just saying about the second star. It's like, yo, if the Pacers lose in the finals, like, what's gonna happen with Siakam? Like,
Yeah,
do they make a decision to go in a different direction, or do they run it back with this same squad? Like,
and that's the other thing too. If the Pacers lose the series, do you repay Miles? Because Miles going to be asking for a lot of money. Do you go and find a center on in free agency? Like, what do you do? Like, there's a lot of stakes in terms of how teams build their roster based on this game right here. Because Pacers win, they're keeping everybody at decent salaries. They lose, but they can be just like the Thunder and say, hey, because of the JT injury, our time is now. We got to strike while the iron's hot and go get somebody.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This offseason
What?
about to be. It's about to be crazy, man.
In your heart right now, where does KD end up?
I think it's wide open at the moment. He's definitely not going to be on the Suns. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. I would, me personally, I would like to see him on the Rockets. That's just me personally. Um, what they would have to give up for him, I don't know. Like if I can keep Sengun, Amin Thompson, I mean, me personally, I'm trading anybody else on that roster. Me personally, if I as long as I can keep those two, we good. But if you asking for one of them two, I can't make that trade.
Mm, yeah, I agree. What is where does Giannis end up this season?
That's a good question too. Like I I don't know, bro. I feel like he gonna still be on the Bucks.
Yeah.
That's what my heart is telling me. Like I don't know, bro. I'm, I don't think his is as urgent as KD. Now if I don't I don't know, bro. Like I could also see them boys trading this man like mid season. Like I don't even know if he like deals with that all season, bro. Cause like it's gonna be him, Kuz, assuming
Kelvin
Bobby
Porter.
Portis is back.
Yeah,
Like
Kelvin Porter, Bobby Portis.
them boys not winning nothing. They not winning nothing.
How did you
So it's
feel about
like,
the rumors?
huh?
How did you feel about the rumors with him going to potentially going to the Raptors and it be a mutual um, interest?
Um, it depends on what the Raptors have to give up. I don't like I talked about earlier, bro. Like they just got Ingram. I don't see them moving Ingram. Me, that's just my thought process and like my philosophy in my mind. It's just like, bro, like we just got this man, bro. Like I'm not about to trade him again, bro. Now, could they? Yeah. Should they trade him if Giannis is an option? Yeah. But like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It depends on what they have to give up because they were what 3 games out of the play in, three or four games out of the play in. The Raptors.
Yeah.
I might I might be thinking about the Trailblazers because I know me and you were talking about the Trailblazers a couple of days ago. Let me look at the standings real quick. They were they were oh they were they were 11th in the East, but they were 9 games out of the play in.
Yeah, they were far.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. They got some pieces to make a move. I don't know if Giannis is the right person that they bring in though. I don't know. That
Yeah.
I feel like they're in an interesting spot, like similar like what we talked about with the Trailblazers. Just like they have these pieces. They weren't terrible. Like I mean, 30 and 52 is terrible, but like nine, nine, 9 games back from the play-in, it's not terrible now. It's not terrible. Um, but yeah, man, they gotta, I don't know, man. That
Okay.
that's one of those things where like once again, they aren't going to win a championship. Even if you bring in Giannis, they aren't winning the championship.
But I feel like a lot of this is circulating because, like I say it, I'm a broken record at this point because of JT. Everybody think they have a chance now. They like the Pacers made the finals. That's everybody in the boardroom. Like the Pacers made it. Oh no! Oh no! We right there. I'm telling you
No,
right now.
no, that's real. That's real. Because also you got to think about too, like in the offseason, Atlanta could look different. I don't think Chicago's that good, me personally. These are the teams that are in front of Toronto. Miami, how are they gonna look with a full season without Jimmy Butler? We saw how they looked in the play in the first round. Or Orlando. I mean, Orlando should be better with Paolo and friends and them boys being healthy. They should be
Yeah,
better. But like I said, the Bucks, they were in front of the Raptors. They probably not going to be that good. So it's like, yeah, if we can, make a move to go get Giannis, why not?
yeah,
This is the perfect time.
right.
Almost similar to like when they went to go get Kawhi. Now, granted, they were a little bit closer, a little bit higher in the standings when they went to go get Kawhi, when they got Kawhi, and they ended up winning the championship. But East is wide open.
Yeah, I agree. So in your heart, where does Zion end up next season?
You want a real answer?
Yeah, just rapid fire.
Hopefully he's on the court. First of all, I'm just saying, bro. Got a whole bunch of
Option C.
yeah. He got a whole bunch of like allegations and stuff going on, like off the court. And hopefully he's healthy if he's able to be on the court. 2, 3. Once again, like we talked about a few episodes ago, what do they want for Zion? Like if you're asking for something crazy, bro, it's not gonna happen. Now, a team that I could see where he could fit possibly, I don't know. Because if you're Memphis, are you paying Jaren Jackson?
That was gonna be one of my names I was gonna ask. I don't know.
Because if not, maybe Zion is an option.
But I don't know if he gives you anything drastically different than Jaron Jackson though.
I mean, outside of a smaller contract, maybe do like a sign and trade or something, and Jaren Jackson get his money from the Pelicans.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do that straight up because I think in their minds they still value Zion. I don't think the
Yeah,
league does.
but if the man has his injury history, you're not gonna get nothing crazy for him. Could Houston be another option? Him and Sengun in the front court. I just don't know.
Yeah,
Like, and then like the whole Eastern Conference is just like, bro, like, what are y'all doing? Like, I feel like like is anybody gonna like try to win a championship? Like Atlanta, like, what are y'all doing with Trey Young?
where does Trey Young
Miami,
end up next season? Still with Atlanta?
hopefully not. I hope not. Bro, they ain't
Where
been
okay,
doing
so
that for years.
where would you like to see him? I guess that's the better question.
Well, the conversation before the Spurs got De'Aaron Fox was San Antonio. Um, like is Trey Young trying to win? Are we sending Trey Young to a contender? Because when you look at the contenders, I mean that list starts to get a little small. Maybe Minnesota. You talked about a scoring
I was saying
guard. You,
I
you
was, I
talked
was saying
about a scoring guard, like maybe Minnesota. Like, I mean, Golden State got Steph. The Clippers got Harden. Denver, they got Jamal Murray, but it's question marks there with how they gonna be looking next year. The Lakers got
Dallas.
Luka. Yeah, with Kyrie being out, but I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
when they come back, you right. When they come back,
yeah,
it's gonna get real spooky.
yeah, and it'll be like a rental situation,
Yeah. Okay, where does LaMelo end up next season? Still with Charlotte?
I guess. Um, Once again, like Zion, you got to stay on the court. Got to stay on the court. If I were him, I would try to get out of Charlotte because Charlotte is not good. Um, but like same thing with Trey. It's like who needs a point guard? Maybe Phoenix. Like Phoenix could be on the table for a lot of people that are point guards.
If you're a team, would you rather? Well, let's say contenders. If you're a contender, would you rather have Trey Young or LaMelo?
Trae Young. Easy.
Mhm.
He doesn't get hurt as much. He's not out there doing street ball stuff. He can
Picking
he
the
can
leg of
get
him.
he can get 30 and 11 any night. Now, granted, those numbers will be a little bit down if he goes to a contender, but once again, the contenders, who needs a point guard? Like maybe Houston? There's only a few teams that need a point guard, as if you look at the rosters the way that they're currently constructed, right?
Yeah.
Houston needs a point guard. Maybe the Clippers if they decide to move on from, James Harden. Maybe Denver if they decide to move on from Jamal Murray. Minnesota, but then you got to think you're playing with Ant-Man. So your numbers is not going to look how your numbers look now. Dallas technically needs a point guard right now with Kyrie being hurt.
Yeah, but like you said, I think Dallas has to go more of like a Tyus Jones, like some. Do they still have Spencer Dinwiddie on their roster?
Yeah,
Neimark
he
would
wasn't
fit
doing.
there.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing nothing. Dinwiddie wasn't doing much of nothing. Yeah, Neimark probably could fit. Yeah. I don't know,
Yeah,
bro. I just don't. Me personally, not yet. I don't see him as a true point guard yet.
Okay. Fully healthy. Who's the better team in Texas, San Antonio or Dallas?
If we're going off of like this year's roster,
I mean, let's go
or
off
like looking forward.
looking forward.
So Kyrie's hurt. Oh no, you said
No,
fully healthy. You said fully healthy.
let's just say they get Harper and uh Dallas gets
Yeah,
flagged.
I'm gonna have to. You gotta think too. They got 2 first-round picks in San Antonio. um, hmm. I don't know, bro. I feel like that Dallas team healthy can be scary. Like
Yeah.
AD, Flag, and Kyrie. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
give
still
me
got
Dallas. Give me Dallas. Yeah, give me Dallas. Give me Dallas.
got Hardy, you got Lively, you got what's the other center's name? I'm blanking out.
Gafford.
He got Daniel. Yeah. Yeah,
Then
I'll go
you got
Dallas.
Wemby on the other side, Chris Paul, Castle, whoever they
Yeah,
draft, Vasil,
Keldon,
and yeah.
Sochan. Like I think the San Antonio has a lot of depth. Their bench is going to be good, but I think in terms of stars and the ability to be more versatile, I think Dallas is right there.
But also, once again, we talk about the offseason. Bro, they have the potential, San Antonio, to do something crazy. Like you just said, they got the role players. They can go make a trade if they want to at any moment. They got 2 first-round picks. Hey, San Antonio, watch out.
Like San Antonio can make a move for a legit star and still have a bench. That's how crazy that deep their roster is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Lauri Markkanen is going to be on Utah?
No, I think he gets traded. I think contender could use him. I mean, I'm trying to see. Well, he might be on Utah at the start of the season. I don't think he finishes the season with Utah. I'll say that. What big did the Lakers go get?
I don't know. I feel like they need a defensive anchor. Somebody that's going to hold down the defense. You don't necessarily need them to come in and get, 20 points or 30 points like an MB type, but you need somebody that's going to hold down the paint, defend, can catch lobs if needed. True. I don't know. This might be asking for too much. DeAndre Ayton.
That's a solid option because you got Clinigan and with Trailblazers now move forward. That's a solid option. Yeah, I could see that.
I would make a call about Aiton, man. You don't need him to come in and get 20 points, nothing crazy. He only averaged 14 and 10 this year in 40 games. Do you want to take that risk with health? I don't know, but I would definitely, because shoot, last 2 seasons in Portland, 55 games, 40 games. So
He low key could kill with Luca and Braun on that roster. That's
yeah,
interesting. Huh. You might have to write an article about that one. I need to do
the the Lakers need to go get DeAndre Ayton, make it happen.
that. Okay. Huh.
Do you
For
do
the
you
book,
think the seven? Do you think the 76ers is gonna look how they look now with the big three by the end of next season,
yeah,
or
they
going
will.
into next season?
They will. I think uh Ace Bailey changes a lot with that. I presume that's what Morey's going to do at number three. Um, but we know Morey can get spooky. So I know he just wants James Harden. He just he wants to prove that small ball line is going to work. He's going to bring back the House, Ryan Anderson. But yeah, I think they stay
So
personally.
so how do you think that looks with Maxi, PG, Ace Bailey, MB type situation? How good do you think they could be?
It once again it comes down to Embiid because low key this could be a very scary roster because Ace Bailey stretches the floor. He's 6'10", can shoot from in the range, and if Embiid can provide that presence down low, we know that Maxi and Embiid pick and roll it could be deadly because Maxi's such a downhill player. It adds so many different threats to their team, and then obviously we just need PG to play defense and hit an occasional three, but he also is more versatile. We've seen PG, with not only Indiana, but we see what his bag could be. But he doesn't need to be that if we get enough production from the other guys. So I like the roster. Bring it back.
And they got McCain still coming back off that injury, who was
Yeah,
balling before he got hurt. So yeah, yeah.
yeah. Now go ahead.
And with the something we had talked about before, I actually mentioned it to you a couple of days ago, but the Trailblazers, I feel like they're in an interesting spot too. A few games out from the play-in. We just talked about Aiton for a little bit, but if they're healthy, they could possibly be in that play-in, playoff conversation.
Yeah, the thing with the Trailblazers though, and you get kind of into the politics of the NBA because I guess it really is going to come down to how they start the season because now it's going to be the AJ sweepstakes next year, and they've got a good team, but if they're in that lottery ish um, lottery ish area towards the middle of the season, I wonder how many teams are going to tank and try to get AJ in the same way they try to deal with Flag. Then they got a lot of good pieces, but it's like, does this team, if you know you're not going to compete in the playoffs, why even try? Like,
Mhm. Yeah, that's a
and
good
they
point.
don't really have a star yet to take them, even if they went to playoffs. I think Simon's a good piece. I mean, he's averaging like 19 a game, but I think he'd be a good piece on another contending roster. I don't know if he has enough to carry this team to the playoffs.
Valid,
Yeah.
valid.
What do you do if you're the Grizzlies? I know we talked about Jaren Jackson, but you don't think about moving Ja, but what do they do to get back to playoff contention next year?
Get healthy. One. Um, uh, they've already announced their coach, right?
Yeah, I think it's the guy that was the assistant.
That took over.
Yeah.
Um, I I don't know because they're in an interesting spot too. Like you got Edie, who's young. You got who's the other guy? Wells that they
Yeah,
had? Guard?
Glenn Wells.
Wells.
Yeah.
So you got some young pieces there. You got Gigi Jackson as well. Um, I don't know. I feel like their biggest thing is health, really. Like they have to be healthy. If Jaren Jackson's coming back, they have to be healthy. If Jaren Jackson is not coming back, you gotta find somebody to replace that production to be a second/third option with Ja and Bane. Like I feel
Yeah.
like they have a solid foundation, having Ja and having Bane there if Jackson doesn't return, but you need a little bit more. But they got the role players. Like I said, I just think they just have to be healthy for real.
But see, that's the thing though, bro. Is when I was talking about you got to look at your second star, I was thinking about the Grizzlies, and I wasn't even thinking about Jaren. I was thinking about Desmond because Desmond's on the max. We got to remember.
Yeah, yeah. But he's
He's-
he's still been playing at a high level, bro.
but is he worth the max? Moving forward to win it at finals? Like, is
Well,
that what we're gonna be?
if you're trying to win a finals, then no. But also, like think about it like this. I mean, these teams that's in the finals right now, I mean, them boys probably not getting the max yet, but like nobody expected them to be in the finals. The Grizzlies were just the 2 seed a couple years ago. Like, let's not forget. Like, I think a lot of their failure has been because they've been hurt. Like, when they're healthy, the Grizzlies are tough, bro. Like, Bane is one of the better, two-way players in this league, bro. 3-and-D
Who's
type guys.
Desmond Bane or Jalen Brown?
Who's better?
Yeah.
Well, I think you would have to say Jalen Brown. But I think like if they were to play like one-on-one, I mean, I think it would be a good game. Like I feel like it would be close. Like I don't think Jalen Brown is blowing out Desmond Bane if they were to play one-on-one.
I don't know. It's just don't sit around with Desmond Bane, man. Get the max. That's still years later. I just don't know who you would get if you traded Desmond Bane.
Okay. No. Who you replacing Desmond Bane with?
KD.
So you would trade Desmond Bane for Kevin Durant.
Yep. In a heartbeat. You know how I feel about Kevin Durant. Bye Desmond.
36 for 26.
Goodbye. Because we're not gonna do that to KD. We're not gonna act like 36 for 26. No, like KD is still KD. If we talk about winning championships, I thought that was the goal for everybody. You got to make the move now because before
like we talked about before, that might be the goal for us, for them.
But that's my point of view. That's how I'm going to be evaluating these teams. I'm assuming that everybody who is a fringe contender, if you made the plan last year, you expect to win champions.
So would you trade? Let's say Desmond Bane is not on the table to be traded. Would you trade Jaren Jackson for KD?
Yeah.
Why the hesitation? What took you so long to answer that?
I think there's a little bit more versatility with Jaren Jackson. I mean, if he ever just desires to get a rebound, just probably maybe like 4 or 5, I feel like they could be a completely different team. But because he doesn't get rebounds, he gives me what KD does, personally.
Okay.
I mean, you lose a little bit defensively, but I think you can go get that. If you keep in Desmond Bane, I mean, you can go get pieces defensively. Who is the best player to go get for Cleveland if you are trying to make a move to win a championship next year? Or do you keep the roster intact?
I have a feeling they're going to keep the roster intact, but I think if they were to try to go get somebody, I think either going to be either a point guard or like a small forward. If it's a point guard, you're definitely moving Garland. If it's a small forward, you probably could keep Garland and try to add somebody. Who that is, I don't know. Like what were they missing? I guess I don't know. Cause I feel like Mobley is not bad, bro. Like he was defensive player of the year. He was, all defensive team, all NBA type guy. Um, he's only gonna get better. He's really like the second option if we're being honest. Um,
Sure.
so you really, I mean, realistically looking at it, I mean, you can get an upgrade at the three position, but like I said, they just got DeAndre Hunter. Like let's not forget that. So when
That's
healthy, with a healthy roster, I mean, maybe you move Garland like you talked about earlier. But then again, it's like who do you bring in? Because you need like a traditional type point guard. You don't necessarily need somebody that's gonna come in and get, 30 points. You just need
yeah,
somebody who can, run the offense, facilitate the offense, alleviate some stress from Mitchell handling the ball. But other than that, I mean, shoot, this roster is not bad. So I wouldn't be surprised if they run it back, but probably an upgrade at the point guard position, more than likely.
yeah. I really think that this is the one team that kind of needs to follow the Pacer strategy. Um, because like you said, their roster is not bad, but the problem is once Darius went out, you had to rely on like Ty Jerome, Sam Merrill, and Dean Wade. I think they need to get a little bit more deeper with their roster. I feel like they can go get some quality bench players along with, you know, um, your DeAndre Hunters, um, Jared Allens, and even Evan Mobley. Like they could be a team just like the Pacers for next season that makes a run because you know
So do
what you're
you
getting
think?
for depth.
So do you think Garland's gone?
Yeah, I I think he is the big piece that's moved just for the sake of the luxury tax because you're gonna have to pay Mobley. You're paying Allen, and you know what you're paying Mitchell. So I just feel like moving him for mid contracts is the best option right now because he doesn't give you. I think internally, obviously I'm not no Cavs insider, but I think internally people were pissed about the injury, like because they knew that they had a chance this year, especially with Boston going down.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that. And it was what, a toe injury, ain't it?
Yeah, they showed that game too when the Cavs were up big. They were showing like a cutaway of him smiling and laughing with Evan Mobley, and then like a minute left, he was just like looking into the camera, man. I was like, yeah, it's up. What do you do?
Yes.
What do you do if you're? What do you do
Go
if
ahead.
you're the king? You got DeRozan and Levine and Sabonis. Do they? Is that same three coming back next season?
It don't need to be. It don't need to be. They need to. I don't, bro. I don't know why they did that, bro. Like just going back to that trade, bro. Like, why did y'all do that, bro? Like, huh?
Yeah, the biggest fleece. The biggest fleece was not even the Tyrese trade. The biggest fleece was them trading away Fox and not getting Castle back.
Bro, like y'all wanted Zach Levine,
Yeah.
bro. Like once again, are y'all trying to win? Clearly not, bro. Y'all have. I don't even know how old Levine is, but I'm gonna give him 30. You got 230 plus dudes, man. that you trying to win with, man. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, he's 30 on the dot.
And Debo
Whose
got to
games
be.
don't really complement each other.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, what are y'all trying to do, bro? Like, I feel like they low key is like they're like stuck with Zamonis, but it's like, bro, like DeRozan, Levine, try to move them. What you gonna get from them? Who knows? But I think those two could definitely help like a playoff type team. Like if DeRozan were to go back to like San Antonio, that wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah,
He wouldn't
I
be asked
agree.
to do much.
Uh, I mean, but the thing is though, is like you're kind of in this betwixt and between with this win now and seeing what you got in the future. Because I like Castle. Like, I mean, do you?
Well, I'm not giving up Castle for no DeRozan. That's dead.
No. I'm saying, but if he comes back to the roster, like, so I guess he's take. Is Harrison Barnes still on the roster? On the Spurs roster?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know, but I'm definitely giving up Sohan for DeRozan. Definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Sohan can take that. He can go.
And I'll throw in Vasil or Keldon Johnson. I'll give you one of them for Debo. I feel like that's a fair trade, and you're not losing a whole bunch if you're the Spurs.
Yeah, but I don't know. The Spurs trying to get fleeced again after the whole Fox trade.
I mean, I don't think they're getting fleeced in this situation
Yeah, I'm just saying in
because,
terms of trading with the
because I
system.
feel like you got De'Aaron Fox, you got Wemby, you got whoever they about to draft at 2. Debo could kind of come in and be in that Chris Paul situation where he's just a vet. If you need me to score and get a clutch basket, I can do that. But I'm just here to mentor.
Yeah, but you get that with CP3.
Yeah, but CP about to be gone, brother. He
I
free
would.
agent.
I don't know. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about the DeRozan back there. If anything, I would go get a Drew Holiday. Honestly,
Why would you get Drew Holiday though? Because you already got Castle and you already got De'Aaron Fox in the backcourt.
because I feel like Drew Holiday can give you a little bit more defense, and I mean, you could low key play Castle at the 3. Like he's not a natural 2, so I feel like you could definitely run him at the 3. Have Drew Holiday either running the point or have Fox off the ball, or if Fox wants to score, you have that defense presence in your front court. I mean, in your back court. So I don't know. I just don't know if I'm bringing DeRozan's salary, and I mean, I guess that's just not taking me over the hump. He's not a proven winner like Drew Holiday.
I guess, but I feel like with them being healthy, they don't need a lot.
Yeah, no, at all. And you still got a defensive anchor behind me, so
Yeah.
I
Bro,
don't need
this
much.
man led the league in blocks, bro, and only played like half the season. Like
Yeah.
what, bro?
And you got 14.
You got who?
You got pick 14. So
Yeah, yeah. You got
that
two
could
first
easily
round picks,
be,
bro.
yeah, a decent player off the bench. I mean, whoever you get, I mean, who knows who's still on the board by then.
Yeah.
So some of these teams are not going to move away. Are, is there any hope for the Wizards?
Poverty
Oh,
franchise.
okay. We're going to keep going. Bulls. What do you do if you're the Bulls? Matthias Bazulis, I think his name. He was
Yeah,
definitely a good piece.
yeah, they got some solid pieces, but I ain't too sold on them either. Um, is Kobe White the answer at the point guard position?
You have to
I'm
go Kobe White.
like
Kobe.
like once again, like, are you trying to win a championship? Like they aren't about to be winning a championship no time soon. So just be bad again, get a high pick, keep it pushing.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. The Nets. Pieces, no future. Still suffering from that KD, Harden, and Kyrie years to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It, we already heard Cam Johnson talking about he wanted to leave earlier in the season. Get them dudes up out of there, man. Get Cam Thomas out of there too while you at it. Um, yeah, not gonna be good.
I don't even know what their strategy is. Do you know what pick they have in the draft? If they have one?
Uh, Let me see. NBA draft. They have the eighth pick. They got pick eight.
Okay.
I mean, you can get a piece. I still don't think that piece is like doing anything, bro. Like they about to be sorry again. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. All right. So the Magic got Paulo, Franz.
yeah,
Healthy, I think they would have been top five in the East, in my opinion.
yeah.
Um, what do you do? Do you package some players on the bench and try to go get another star, or do you just keep riding out what you got?
Well, I think Suggs was hurt, and I think he's become one of the high level perimeter defenders as well in this league. Like as we saw last year in the playoffs, like his ability to defend is high level. Um, is he a one? Is he a two? I think that'll depend on what they do in the offseason. Like they got Wendell Carter at the five. Do you trust him at the five as a starting five? I mean, that's probably really the only conversation that they're having. I mean, upgrade at center or upgrade at the point guard position. And I think they've been trying to figure it out through the draft, drafting at the point guard position, drafting these guards, but I don't think they've necessarily found that guy. So do you go get a Trey Young type player, right? Somebody who can score, can also facilitate. You got Suggs as a other backcourt guard that can defend. You got Paolo, you got Franz at the three and the four, and then you add a five. Or you run it back with what you have, get healthy and add some role players. Me personally, I would go get Trey or go get a point guard. And Darius Garland, maybe. I don't know. Uh,
What about Drew? Because I don't think you need drastically. I don't think you need a lot, but
yeah,
I mean,
but
we think Trey's
how much does Drew have left in the tank though? Is my only question. Because if you go get him, I mean, even if you go get him, I don't think they're winning the championship with Drew Holiday. Not next year. I know we talked about the East being open, and the Magic are one of the better defensive teams when they're healthy, but I don't think that's enough to possibly win the East. They could, but who knows?
I just like I hear you with Trey. I just don't know if that's necessarily like gonna be just a plug and play. Like we haven't seen like obviously outside of like the DeJounte Murray years, like I don't know what he's gonna look like with this roster. And like Franz and Paulo still gonna command the ball and still gonna get their shots in. What does that dynamic look like if you just add in Trey?
That's valid. That's valid. And we've also never seen him play with these caliber type players before.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm telling you,
All right, Detroit.
I think they're running back with what they have. Um, you probably know them a little bit better than I do, but I mean, maybe you move an Isaiah Stewart. Um, but I like the pieces that they have. Duran, um, Cade Cunningham, Thompson, Ivy. I mean, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, maybe you move Tobias Harris. You get an upgrade at that four position, but other than that, I mean, shoot, roster's good.
Yeah, like Asar. Um, I actually think they should keep Dennis Schroeder, the backup Cade. I like that 1-2 punch.
Mhm.
Um, I personally think they, depending on the asking price now, if he gets bought out, inquire about Bradley Bill. Like I think Bradley Bill would fit their roster, and he provides the scoring.
As a
Um,
starter,
I don't know. It depends on what he's trying to do at this stage in his career. I think him coming off the bench would be elite, but as a starter, I mean, he's not terrible either. I think we're just judging off the Suns years, but like, I mean, he's still. I think he could still get you 20, in my opinion, or at least 18.
I don't know. My only hesitation is like similar to what you said about Trey Young. It's just like the plug and play type situation. Like I don't know if you want to disrupt that with somebody like Bradley Beal. Like I don't think that's somebody worth investing in to like try out in a sense. It's like, bro, like if you gonna make a move, like go get a heavy hitter, bro. Like don't go small. Like try to hit a home run. Like try to go get Giannis or KD or something. Like I'm not putting my chips on Bradley Bill to come in and contribute and give me something and hope that he can give me 20 points with this roster.
Yeah, but see, the thing is with that though, Bradley Bill, he's still getting paid with the Suns. So that's what I'm saying. If he gets balled out, then I would inquire. I wouldn't want to mess up this roster. Like, I feel like if you get into the KD or Giannis stage, you're gonna have to gut your roster somewhat. I feel like if you can get Brad Bill in free agency, you won't have to mess with anything. If you can get him at a low price because he got paid at the two stops that he was in before, I feel like you should give a decent discount. Like, and Brad Bill on your roster is still Brad Bill. Like, let's stop.
This is
Like,
this is the NBA that we talking about. That man ain't giving no discounts to nobody.
bro, he was sitting on the bench getting paid a max.
I just wouldn't want to deal with that headache, bro. What if he get there and be like, "Oh, I'm not starting. I don't want to be here no more."
That's very true.
Because, bro, like I said, bro, with this roster, I mean, who's their starting two right now? They got Cade,
Malik Beasley.
who?
Malik Beasley. Or probably Jaden Ivey if he gets back healthy. I don't know if he's going to come out starting.
So Thompson was playing the three.
Yeah, I mean, some games. He'll probably be the two. So
Okay, so
Thompson,
yeah,
Beasley.
so Bradley Bill's starting shooting guard. We can say that if he joins
Yeah.
the roster, he's the starting shooting guard. I I mean yeah. I mean, I guess because like who was their second option after Cade? Who was their
That's
second
my
option?
point. That's my
I
point.
didn't. Yeah,
They got Suki.
yeah. I just don't know if he's gonna be that same Bradley Bill, bro. I don't know. We gonna see.
Yeah. All right. Talk about the Pistons. Let's go to Miami. Um, so they made a plan,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously that roster stunk. Like there are some games I was like, man, this is pitiful. You got
Yeah.
Hero on the table. I know you're not trading Bam.
I don't think Heroes on the table. I think they keep Hero. They build around Hero and Bam. What that looks like, who knows? Um, because I feel like Hero has shown the ability to play with the ball in his hands. He can be a facilitator, initiate the offense, um, and also get his scoring. Not to a level of like a Tyrese Halliburton, of course, but like he can get. I think he can get with the ball in his hands. 5 to 6 assists per game. Um, they could upgrade at Wiggins. They got some young pieces down low with Khalil Ware. Um, and Miami's always a free agent destination. So I think they continue to build around, Hero and Bam, but I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe a KD. Maybe they swing for the fences and try to go after like a KD or a Giannis. Maybe it's Miami, bro. They always gonna compete. They always gonna play hard, and people want to play there.
Yeah. I think I don't know if Hero's not on the table. I feel like the only person I'll be willing to trade is Bam. Because the thing is, it's
Bro, Hero's coming off his best season. He just made the
yeah,
All
that's what
Star game.
I get that. I mean, but if you're talking about KD, like it's not just hey, just give me KD. What are they going to be asking for? Because what other pieces outside of Bam and Hero can you say put a package together and say, okay, let me just get KD that other
Khalil
teams won't be able to
Ware,
match?
Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez. They got some pieces.
Yeah, but you're talking about competing with 28, 29 teams in the league. I just don't know what that looks like.
Bro. We
And to
we
be
we've
honest,
seen
they're sure
we've seen teams make some bad trades before.
we have
If KD
absolutely.
don't want to be there and they don't want KD on the team no more, they'll send him, bro. They'll get him off the team, bro, for some young players, bro.
Yeah, but if you trade him for Giannis, Hero's definitely gone. For sure gone.
Well, especially with the Dame injury, yeah, but guess. But what does that
Pick
look
him out.
like, bro? Like Bam and Giannis, that's gross.
But it's
That's so
Miami.
gross, bro.
Miami. Yeah,
Man, that would be so nasty, bro. That would be disgusting. Like, where's the shooting?
I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
and that's why they need to keep Hero.
Giannis, Bam, and Davion. Good luck. Welcome to the play-in, ladies and gentlemen.
Barely, if that.
All right, so got a couple teams left. So what do you do? Is who is gone for Denver next year? Is Murray still on the roster?
I think MPJ is definitely going. I think he's
Yeah.
going to be the number one person that's going. MPJ. Um, After that, I think Aaron Gordon before Jamal Murray probably be going too. Um, Now as far as what you could get, your best option is probably trading Murray. Um, but
Yeah, I was
then the
about to say,
interesting part.
what do you get from MPJ? Like, what we say trade him? What's the value?
I don't know if they. I got to look at his contract situation. I don't know if he a free agent or if he
Oh, okay.
will get traded. But I mean, me personally, I don't think they would even be like asking for nothing crazy for MPJ. In all honesty, bro,
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a crazy. I don't think it would be a crazy trade. Like I feel like a lot of teams could make that trade for MPJ without putting a big dent in their roster. Um, but yeah, I just don't see that being a good fit for him moving forward, MPJ. Um, Now if they're fine, building around Jamal and Jokic, cool. But if they want to go in a different direction, Trey Murray too.
Yeah. Who's the piece that works best with Jokic, like in a trade?
I don't know, bro. I feel like when we saw them at their best, I mean, he was surrounded by like shooters. And those tough like 3 and D type guys, the Bruce Browns. Um, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily, put a star next to him necessarily. Of course, you need somebody that can get a bucket when he can't. But if you can get some good enough role players to put around him, go for that. Try that route.
What about Cam Thomas? Cam Johnson?
Yeah, yeah. Shooters can score. Yeah, wouldn't be bad. You would just be young, and then you
I
got
mean, but
the
Cam's been to the finals, all right? Was he on that Phoenix team?
with Chris Paul and Aiden. Maybe, maybe.
Mm-mm. All right. Yeah, I agree with you though. I think if you can keep Murray, I would go see what Brooklyn's asking for at least one of them, and just keep building.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but MPJ's gone. I don't know about
Definitely.
trading Aaron. I think Aaron could give you a decent couple of minutes this year, minute this next year. All right, what about you saw it?
Yeah, I think he can. Health is gonna be, you know, conversation, but he's definitely been a good addition since he's been there for
Yeah,
Denver.
for sure. All right, you got Harden. Kawhi, Zubac. Is that core staying next year, or who do you move?
Well, the easy answer is you move Harden, but I don't know. I have a feeling that they gonna rock out with this roster, man. I got a feeling they're gonna run it back with who they got. Norman Powell also had a good year, so let's not forget about that. Um, but yeah, after that, I mean, like, what's on this roster? After those four guys, like, what's on this roster, bro? So they definitely got to do some retooling. GM got to get in his bag to make some moves to get some better talent on this roster to help them, get to where they want to go, and hope Kawhi is healthy.
Yeah, I feel like because of the SGA trade and because they gave away so many picks with this PG trade, and including SGA and Kawhi, I think they're trying to prove a point now. Like I don't see them winning the finals with that roster this year, and I'm done. I'm done picking them in the playoffs. So
They
I'm
let you
done.
down.
I'm done. They got me. I thought they're gonna be at least irrelevant, but I just don't think they're gonna ever have the team with this roster to get to the NBA finals.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so Golden State. Do you run it back? What do you do?
Def-
Do you keep Jimmy?
definitely. They already gave him his extension. Now the question comes, what's gonna happen with Draymond? That's the question.
Well,
Do you
you,
keep Draymond? Is Draymond retiring? Um,
Steph and Draymond retiring together, bro. Let's just call it as that.
that's what
Like,
you do. That man Draymond about to hang up that jersey and cut on that microphone full
nah,
time.
I feel like as long as Steph's rolling out there, he's gonna at least give it his all. Now his all might not be.
I wouldn't be surprised if they trade that man.
Man, stop. Man, Draymond almost won the defense player of the year.
All right, just remember. Hey, just remember I said this at the 1 hour 52 mark on this episode. Remember that I said they're gonna trade Draymond. So when you get that Bleacher Report notification, that ESPN notification, when it come through that the Warriors have traded X amount All-Star Draymond Green, just come back to this. We're gonna clip this part.
Nope.
It's coming.
Draymond will be if Steph is on the roster next year, Jay, I guarantee
Yep, and
that
you
Draymond
yep, and you thought that about Klay Thompson too, didn't you?
No,
Yeah.
Clay is more expendable than Draymond. Easily.
Hey, have you not seen Draymond these past couple of seasons? He's expendable, brother. I
He
promise
won all NBA defensive teams.
you. Yeah, that's good. Good job. But I'm talking about his antics and everything else surrounding him.
Man, they won championships with these same antics.
When last time they won a championship?
They won it like 3-4 years ago. I know for
What?
sure when I was in Boston, I had to watch it.
Okay, what have you done for me lately? Drama.
Here you go, man.
You're expendable, Draymond.
What are you gonna get back for him? You might as well keep him. He's more
I don't
valuable
know.
on the roster.
Hey, hey, hey! He's all defensive, bro. You can get a good bit for him.
We know this is with
Hey,
like,
he in the defensive player of the year conversation, bro. You can get something for him.
he's not getting traded, bro. We can stop that. Nip that to Billy right now.
Hey, like I said, we clip this. We're gonna clip this.
Clip
And
it.
when,
I guarantee Drake
and when
will
that
be on the
notification come through, and be like, I told you so. Just like I told y'all about Jalen Brunson, and we saw it this series against the Pacers. Watch when that Draymond notification come through, trade notification come through.
They're not trading Dre, man. Dre's safe. Dre a warrior for life. Okay, we briefly touched on it, but what about the Bucks? Like Giannis, I think Giannis is staying, like you said. I just don't see any other option with him not turning into a journeyman. So I feel like he should stay. He's getting his statue, rock out with the Bucks. But we know
bro.
Dame.
My
What's up?
only my only thing with Giannis staying is like after that series, what was it last year when they played Miami? When was it when they played Miami and they lost? And like the rumblings was like, oh, Giannis doesn't want to be here. Giannis wants to leave. And then they made the trade for Dame. Um, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wants out, bro. Like that sounds good. Like, yeah, he can get a statue in Milwaukee, but I wouldn't be so I just don't see him dealing with that all year. I don't see him dealing with that situation that he's going to be in all season.
Yeah, but like we looked at all the other rosters, like what roster fits his style of play? It doesn't like that's willing to give up their
Hey,
phone.
hey, yeah, it probably ain't gonna happen. Detroit.
Yeah, I said Detroit a couple episodes ago, but I just don't see that happening because you're giving away your future. They're gonna want everything.
But if Giannis don't want to be there, bro, they gonna find a way to make it happen, bro.
And I don't think Giannis wants to
And
be in Detroit.
Detroit with Cade or Milwaukee without Dame. I'm taking Detroit easily. Bye, Kuzma. Easily, bro.
I can't see it, honestly. What about
What
New York?
about? Ooh, I was just about to say that. What if they traded like Cat? My only so Doc had texted me about this the other day. My only thing with that is like they have they gonna have to give up Cat, a combination of Cat, OG, or McHale, and or McHale. Either all three of them or at least two of them is gone. If they want to get Giannis, nine
Is
times
Brunson
out
off
of
the
10,
table?
huh?
Is Brunson off the table?
I don't think they would make that trade. I don't think they would trade Brunson. I don't think they would include Brunson in a Giannis trade. I don't think that's smart either.
No, I just not just for this trade. I was just asking in general. Like if Brunson was off.
Well, in general, if I were the GM, yes, he's on the table. That's just me. That's just me personally. But as far as Giannis, I think you have to keep Brunson on the roster to entice Giannis to, wanna come over there and play with a all NBA type of guy. I don't think Giannis is coming to New York if Brunson is a part of that deal.
I just I don't see that working. They're two of the same players. They both require the ball. Like what?
You talking about Brunson and Giannis?
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably won't work. But I'm just saying from a from from a looks perspective, bro. Oh, we got a chance to win a championship, bro. We got Giannis. You know them New York fans will be going crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You know they'll be going crazy if Giannis was on his roster, bro.
Man, you talk about no bench now. Like I just don't see it. You need shooters around Giannis. Like shooters at every position. Mitchell Robinson's not a shooter. Uh,
Well, maybe he needs to go. That's yeah. Can't hit a free throw to save his life. Good God, bro. He was
like
airball, bro. You too big to be airballing free throws, bro. I
he's
don't,
just too big,
bro.
man.
All of these centers that be airballing free throws, bro, y'all are too big, bro. All of y'all in the history of the NBA, bro. If anything, shoot it too hard, bro. Just shoot it hard off the backboard or something, bro. Like you should not be airballing free throws, bro.
Hey, man, I guess it's harder than people think because people it's happening with Shaq. It's happening with Mitchell. Like I don't know what it is.
Too big for that, bro. All y'all.
All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, so the Pelicans. We talked about Zion. We got Trey Murphy. Uh, that's it gets kind of spooky after that. Jose Alvarado, like
I wouldn't say
what?
it gets spooky. I just think once
Herb
again,
Jones.
injuries, bro. Like that's not a bad roster, bro. Like all things considered, that's not a bad roster at all, bro. You got Zion, you got CJ, you got DeJounte, you got Herb Jones, and you got Trey Murphy. That's not counting who they got at center.
They got no, dear God, Yves Missy. They got
Bro,
Tyler Kelly
he was on the all rookie team, bro.
and Carlo Makovic. I mean, that's not saying much, bro. Like the
Hey,
rookie team was.
it's a bright spot.
I mean, their was okay. Like, I, yeah, that's
And
what would do.
you got to
Oh,
think
yeah.
they just traded Ingram. They had Ingram on that roster. They traded Ingram, so you got to factor that in as well
Yeah. I
because
mean, but
Ingram was on that roster.
I remember Brandon Boston. Yeah, from Kentucky. Uh, Trey Murphy and Trey Murphy is really the only piece that I would want to keep personally. Herb Jones, solid
Herb
piece.
Jones is good.
Yeah,
He's a
I
good
said Herb.
piece.
I said Herb.
Now the rest of that, like I said, they just got DeJounte recently. How long has he been there now? A year or two?
Here,
Year and some
he
change?
put. Yeah, I think one of them years he was hurt. So it might have been this year he's hurt, and then he played last year, right? Because
Yeah,
it was like a
he got
middle of the season,
he
right?
got hurt this year. He got hurt this year.
Yeah,
Got
I
hurt.
think
I
he
think
gets.
it was relatively early in the season too.
Yeah,
But I don't know, man. I feel like if you want to move on from Zion, then yeah, blow it up. Go ahead. I mean, like I just said, they had Ingram. They already traded him. DeJounte was hurt this past year. You might as well rebuild. Might as well. You're not getting much from Zion. I know you want to hold on to him, and he was your, top pick or whatever. But right, if he's not gonna be on the court, ain't no need for me to hold on to him, regardless of how good he's been when he's on the court, bro. But I need more production than that, bro.
Charlotte.
Trash. If I'm a young player on Charlotte, I'm trying to get out. Brandon Miller, request a trade, brother.
Atlanta.
What y'all doing with Trey Young? That's the biggest question. Like Trey Young just been rotting in Atlanta for the past 4 or 5 years. It's like, bro, like what? Why are you still there? Like
I
go
mean, he ain't
somewhere else, huh?
like these past two. I can say that, but he ain't been rotten all past 4 years, bro. Like they were just in the playoffs. Like they were in the playoffs with Trey Young versus the
What?
Knicks.
Okay, what have we been talking about, bro?
Winning a
What
championship.
what what has been the theme these past few weeks? We trying to win a championship. They were just in the playoffs, bro. I don't want to hear that.
I'm just saying, but they made swings. Like they're not.
Riding, riding. He's been riding in Atlanta. I'm standing on that. Trey Young, get out of Atlanta, bro. There's nothing there for you.
I don't know, man. They
Go
got some
thrive
stuff.
somewhere else. Go get a real opportunity to win. It's not gonna be in Atlanta. I promise you, it's not. You're not missing out on nothing. You can get lemon pepper wings anywhere else, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can say rot, but I see what you're saying. But Utah,
I don't even know who's on their roster, bro. Laurie, Jordan Clarkson. They got Filipowski from Duke. I mean, Walker Kessler. Okay, cool.
Col-
Trash.
Colin Sexton,
Trade Laurie.
John Collins.
It's a reason why John Collins is not in Atlanta no more.
I agree. He is, yeah, me.
I mean, bro, like once again, what are we trying to do, bro?
They're not trying to win. They're trying to get AJ. They
Okay,
made
so
that.
trade Laurie, trade Walker Kessler, get these guys who can do stuff off your team and go full tank mode.
Yeah,
Trade
I
Jordan
agree.
Clarkson, trade all your pieces.
Yeah, but
If
you
you're
know, you
gonna
get.
be sorry, be sorry. Don't halfway be sorry.
Yeah, Laurie is the piece I would move. I would kind of see what you got because you got the thing is you can't just get AJ and have nothing. Like if they get AJ, that's the other thing too. Uh, Boston.
I mean, you probably know their cap situation a little bit better than me, but I mean, I guess you got to
Well,
rock with what you got at this point. I mean, and just wait for
we
Tatum
can't.
to come back next year.
You're gonna be so far in the luxury. They're trying to either get rid of Drew or Kristaps because you're gonna be in the hole in terms of the luxury tax because you're still gonna be paying JT even though he's not playing.
Well,
So
I feel like those are movable pieces, bro. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to moving off of them.
yeah, I mean every team that we talked about, I kept throwing out Drew. I'm trying to let Drew land somewhere good. I'm trying to help my boy out because I know it's coming.
I just want to find him a good home.
He done turned off all my options. Like I'm trying to help him.
That boy giving away his dog. I just want to find another good home for him.
Like here, take it. I done said 29 teams in the league. You're like, nah, this Drew still got it. Did you not get the message, nigga?
Okay, when you frame it like that, I get it. But I was looking at it more so from a production standpoint and like, what he could offer a team and what a team would need. I was looking at it from that perspective. But I mean, yeah. Send him to Houston, man. Send him to Houston.
I think the only piece we're keeping right now, like that we want to keep, is going to be JB and Derek White. I've heard some rumors that the Spurs are trying to get JB. I wouldn't be mad at it if we're just trying to retool. But with Brad, I know he's still going to want to compete. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do now that we're waiting a year for Tatum to get healthy. And God willing, we hope that he comes back healthy with the Achilles. So
do y'all have to pay Derek White anything?
Yeah,
or is he on the contract?
We signed him at the beginning of the season for a decent contract. I mean, it was a pretty penny. So we're gonna be in the luxury regardless. It's just like how far we're gonna get in the luxury.
Yeah, I think y'all should just get rid of Porzingis, get rid of Drew, get some quality role players. To go with Derek White and Jaylen Brown and hope for the best and wait for Tatum to come back next year.
Question is, what do we do with Pritchard? Like, Pritchard's gonna be a commanding money soon. So,
oh well, you can find a backup point guard, bro.
Yeah, but for the sake of the season, it's like, do we just let him rock out on this as a starter and then trade him, or are we gonna risk losing him in free agency next year?
Okay, so he's not a free agent until next year.
Yeah.
Oh, well then yeah, keep him then. Let him start and don't pay him next year. I mean, you helping him. It ain't helping you none.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about this in terms of business, but like, do we trade him at the middle of the season? What do we do?
I mean, that probably would be the perfect option because you probably want to see what he can give you as a starter. Because even if he does come in and start, I mean, y'all still gonna need a point guard next year. So
yeah,
if Drew Holiday is gone, of course, but so I mean, it will be a good audition for him. And I mean, if he balls out, it won't be good for y'all paying wise, but at least y'all have a starting point guard now that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Before I say anything about it, did we miss a team? I know we talked about. Oh,
Cavaliers. We talked about them.
Yeah.
Pacers. I guess Pacers. But I guess a lot of it depends on what happens in the series.
Yeah, that's why I didn't go over them because both of these teams don't like. It could get real spooky, or it could just like let's keep it as running back, depending on how the series goes.
Right. Yeah.
What about Dallas? Did we talk about them?
Briefly. Once again, similar to Boston almost. I mean, one of your top guys is gonna be out for a good bit of time. Um, Good thing for them, they got the top pick. So I think they'll be fine. Um, you got to see what they look like when they're healthy, when they're fully healthy. And hopefully that's good enough to be, competing to come out the West. Be one of them, top 5, top 6 type teams coming out the West. Um, I mean, you got Klay Thompson. You still got the good role players, Lively, Gafford. Um,
Already, I already
yeah,
saw it.
yeah, maybe you get, backup point guard. Maybe you move on from Dinwiddie. Um, Especially with Kyrie gonna be out a good bit of the season next year. Um, but other than that, I mean, I think they're in a good spot.
Yeah, yeah. Some of these teams I'm not even gonna talk about honestly. Oh, so we kind of mentioned the KD trade, but Phoenix, what do you do?
It's clear that Bradley Bill's not gonna be there. It's clear that KD is not gonna be there. Mr. Booker, what are you doing, brother? What are you doing, brother? What are you doing, brother? You're not winning the championship in Phoenix. That window has passed, and now that you're about to lose Katie and Bill, bro, you're not leading the team to a championship, bro. So what are you doing? What are you doing? I know you had some input in y'all new head coach, but brother, if I were you, I would try to be doing what KD and Bill are doing. Get out.
I agree. I just feel like he's content because they said he's hand selected the next coach, so I don't see him hand select the next coach and then requesting a trade.
Idiot. Idiot. Bro, just rotting. Once again, rotting. Just like Trey Young. Rotting.
Man, go where your feet are, bro. He
Bruh.
said he would stay there.
Bruh. When they went to the finals, everybody from that team is gone. Except him.
Yeah.
Get out, bro. Talking about
Hey,
something
bro,
be where your feet are. Shut up.
you want to be a son for life. I can't. If he wanted to be out, he could have easily said, "Nah, I ain't gonna help with the coach." He just want to stay planted. He said he gonna be a Hall of Famer with the Phoenix Suns. Probably break the Suns record.
Sometimes you gotta move, brother.
Where? Like, he don't want to move. He
He
don't want
needs
to move. He want to stay in
he
Phoenix.
needs to. That's the thing. He needs to. Hey, Denver.
For what?
Jamal Murray and MPJ.
That's not getting it done for Devin Booker, bro.
Add in a first round pick. Y'all can get Peyton Watson or somebody.
If that's the case,
Christian
10
Braun.
of, I got 10 of the teams right now I can look at and say they will probably beat them in that trade.
Bro, Jamal Murray, bro. And MPJ? Bro, you crazy.
Yeah, easily.
Bro, you're crazy. You're disrespecting them boys, bro.
No, it's not disrespectful. I'm just saying
Bro,
there's other teams.
you're disrespecting Jamal Murray and
No,
MPJ, bro.
they're
Who
cool players,
who
but both of
who
them have injury history.
okay, who else has a better package than that? That realistically will go after Devin Booker.
Mm, looking at all the teams right now. Jaren Jackson. Mm,
I'm taking MPJ and Jamal Murray over Jaren
man,
Jackson.
you stop. Man, stop it. Man, stop it.
He don't
They,
get no
they'll-
rebounds.
they both have injury history. Why would I want two brittle players that's probably on the closer to the last stretch than they are their prime? Like,
Bro,
no.
MPJ like 26, 27, bro.
Yeah, that back is 55 and shoulder. Like, No, I'm not taking a risk on MPJ. What is he gonna do for my roster? Like,
Ass shooting.
come on. Yeah, if he's on the court, and if he is on the court, if he's healthy on the court. I mean, Brooklyn could throw a whole boatload at the Phoenix Suns.
Man, stop it.
So the Phoenix Suns, they couldn't offer a better offer than that. I can give you back Cam Thomas, a boatload of picks. I even throw in Claxton. What?
Yeah, they're not giving up all that for Devin Booker.
Houston.
I'm not big on Jalen Green, so who you moving?
I mean, they got a bunch of like Eason, Cam Whitmore,
You can
Reed
have
Shepard, Jalen Green.
Oh,
I'm taking all of them before I'm taking Jamal Murray and MPJ.
okay.
Man, stop it. Yeah, come on. You got to give me a better offer than that. You're talking about D-Book.
What that's supposed to mean?
That is not a valuable trade. Like, if I'm getting back MPJ and Jamal Murray, who both have injury history, no. I'm giving away my franchise player.
You better be trash anyways.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'd rather not be paying those two. They're probably going to be sitting on the bench with me.
I guess.
No, you guess. San Antonio? Like, are we crazy? Like, I give you 2 and 14. And take anybody. Look, I'm going to line up Blake Wesley, Keldon Johnson.
You giving up way too much for Devin Booker, bro.
What?
Bro, that's too much, bro. 2 and 14 for Devin Booker?
Are we crazy? Like, okay. I guess we're gonna end there.
You gotta learn how to rob teams, Collin. That's all I'm saying, bro. You giving up too much for Devin Booker, bro.
Oh man. Well, I'm sorry.
Now, if you're the Suns GM and you're asking for that, okay, cool. But
we talking
if
about
you're
from
another
the
team
standpoint
making that offer, bro, I'm not giving up 2 and 14 for Devin Booker, bro.
We were talking about it.
I give you Sohan and Vasil for Devin Booker, and maybe 14, but I'm keeping 2.
Good night. Are we
bro,
crazy?
bro, I'm telling you, bro. You'll be surprised.
Bro,
have you seen some of these trades, bro? Go back and look at the history of some of these trades, bro. Did you see the De'Aaron Fox trade?
How bad, Devin? I don't know what he's smoking. Nope. I do not know. That's crazy.
I feel like you putting too much stock in Devin Booker, bro.
And Devin Booker, he's a bona fide all-star. Like, what are we talking about?
Okay. Was De'Aaron Fox a bona fide all-star? Was Donovan Mitchell a bona fide all-star? Was Rudy Gobert a bona fide all-star?
No.
Let's just look at the history of some of these trades, bro.
Well, guys,
teams have been robbed, and teams will continue to be robbed.
On that note, he said, Rudy. He said so hot. Devin Booker.
Bro, I said Sohan and Vasil in 14. Bro, that's a good. That's enough, bro.
Oh man,
that's enough to get your rebuild started. You already about to trade KD, and man, Bradley Beal's about to be going too.
If I trade you,
okay, wait, hold on. Who's worth more, KD or Booker?
right now, probably almost equal.
Mm.
I'm not giving you I'm not giving you Devin Vassell, so on and 14 for KD.
Why not?
Man, stop. Like, what would it would have to be two. I would think about two.
Okay, we can do something with 14. We can move up with 14. For
Yeah,
KD?
give me two.
Yeah, I'll give you the number 2 pick.
Oh no, two Vassell and Sohan.
Yeah, you can get that for KD.
Okay. Yeah, we can think that's just where we starting. I ain't saying that's the finalized deal.
Oh,
That's where we
that's the
starting.
final. Nah, that's the final trade. You ain't getting nothing else.
Uh,
This brother's 36.
yeah, okay, we can start there. But Devin Booker is what 30?
Yeah, but me personally, I'm not sold on Devin Booker, bro.
Okay.
I don't think he comes into San Antonio and is that
Devin
big of a
Booker's done just as much as
difference.
Trey. So whatever
Huh?
you asking for Trey, Devin Booker's done just as much as Trey. So
Okay.
whatever you asking for Trey, would you give that for Trey?
Give away for Trey.
The Vassell 14 and Sohan.
I mean, they have De'Aaron Fox, bro.
No, I'm just saying theoretically, like a player like Trey, I think they're the same caliber player.
And I think Trey adds a little bit more from a facilitating standpoint. Yeah. Bro, Trey is a 30 and 11 type guy, bro. D Book is not giving you that.
This man D Book dropped 70. So
When was that?
man, that was a
Are
nasty
any of
game.
those guys that he dropped 70 on still?
Wait, it's not about the guy.
Huh? When
It's
did he
not
do
about
that? No. When did he drop 70? Because you brought it up. You brought it up. Nah, you brought it up. When did he drop 70? When was
you
this?
asking you talking about the
No, no,
guys on
no.
town.
No. When did he drop 70? What year was this?
Bro, you know it was a couple years ago, bro. Like, come on.
What year was this? Was it last year?
2017, bro. 2017.
2017. What year is it right now?
Well, about to cuss. You know what year we in, bro.
What year is it right now? He did that in 2017.
Okay, I'm about to pull up Devin Booker's stats because we're not
What
gonna
has he
sit
done
here.
since?
We're not gonna disrespect Booker. Hold on. Let me pull up the stats. Like, relax.
And pull up Trae Young stats too while you at it. Open a new tab and show
Now,
Trae
granted,
Young.
he has played with KD and Bill.
Oh, no, now you got to throw out a disclaimer. Oh,
okay,
exclusives.
25 and 7 this past season.
How many games?
Let me pull up what? How many games? 75. Let me pull up Trae Young.
25 and 7.
25 and 7. Trae Young, 24 and 11.
Ooh, 24 and 11. I told you.
20,
He gives more facilitating.
Yeah, he's a point guard. Booker's a 2.
Okay.
And he still got 7 assists.
They didn't have a point guard, brother. He was playing point guard.
But you know,
he was playing point guard, was he not?
He was playing point guard this season, but naturally he's a 2. So these stats, like they're comparable.
Now the stats don't matter. You the one who wanted to pull up the stats.
You was just saying. I can't wait for. I'll tell you, bro. If you go look at 2 guards in the league, Devin Booker is right there.
All right, so are you taking Jaylen Brown or Devin Booker?
Give me Book.
You don't believe that. I know you don't believe that.
Give me Book.
All right, Devin Booker or Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. Devin Booker. Or Ant.
Come on. Like Ant. Wait.
Devin Booker. I already know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna say this person's name anyways because I already know you're gonna say Devin Booker. Hero. Pull up Tyler Hero numbers. Since you want to laugh hysterically like that, pull up Tyler Hero numbers. Open a new tab and pull up Tyler Hero numbers. Since you want to laugh, it's key. Yeah, pull up Tyler Hero numbers.
We have to just
since you want to laugh. Nah, pull up Tyler Hero numbers. Pull up the numbers. Pull up the numbers.
23 and 5.
And how many rebounds?
See, we weren't even talking about rebounds before.
Hold on. Was he an all-star? I'm just saying, man. In 77 games, bro.
In the Eastern Conference.
Oh, now it's in the Eastern Conference. Oh,
you won't add a rebounds. I'm adding one.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother. So I tell you.
Tyler here. That's crazy. Oh man, we are at 2 hours and 26 minutes, and I can tell because Hunter is just coming up with the craziest takes ever. Oh
bro,
man,
how? Those are valid takes, bro.
Bro, I'm not gonna sit here and let you just disrespect. I know there's been some dark years for Book these past 2 years, but we're not gonna sit here and disrespect him like he is nothing. Like, no, he is one of the top shooting guards in the NBA. Easily.
Okay.
Easily. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a special episode, man. Just an off-season recap. Because this is getting preposterous now. But y'all, it was good.
The main point of this all is that Devin Booker needs to get out of Phoenix. Don't miss the point. Don't miss the point. Ladies and gentlemen, don't miss the point. The point is that Devin Booker needs to get out of Phoenix.
Hey, Devin Booker, stay where your feet are. Stay planted.
You want him to just keep being a loser?
Be present.
That's what you want from him? Yeah. Hey, D-Book, just keep losing, bro. You putting up great numbers, but keep losing. Shut up. You're bogus. You are bogus. You are bogus, bro.
Pick the coach.
You are bogus, bro.
And pick the coach. He clearly want to be in Phoenix.
You are bogus, bro. You want this man to keep losing, bro.
He picked the coach. Clearly, he thinks this coach is gonna help him to win. So how am I
roster? With what roster?
Clearly, he thinks something's different with this coach. I don't think he knows. This man handpicked the coach, and you want me to tell him? You want me to encourage him to leave? What?
And you want me to support a loser? That's what you want me to do.
Hey man,
you want me to support a loser? I'm taking Tyler Hero over that loser.
Man, stop it, man. Tyler Hero's a loser.
He made the playoffs.
The play-in.
He made the playoffs. They got to the first round.
Yeah, got swept.
And where was Devin Booker at? Home.
On the same couch that Tyler Hero's about to be in. Let's stop. Like
he's a loser. Devin Booker's a loser. Boy.
The Phoenix Suns is a losing organization. Devin Booker is not a loser.
He's a loser. He plays for a losing organization. He's a loser. And he's continued to stay. He handpicked the head coach. He's a loser. Absolutely, he's a loser. Don't tell me he plays for a losing organization. No, he's a loser, bro. He's absolutely a loser. There's a reason why KD wants to leave. There's a reason why Bradley Beal don't want to be there. They sick of losing. They're not losers. Devin Booker's a loser.
On that note, guys, the moral of the story is what, Hundo?
Devin Booker needs to leave Phoenix and not be a loser.
we have given you a brief taste of what we think every team should do this offseason. We're going to have more in-depth content with the finals and after the finals because this is probably going to be the most interesting offseason in a while. And as you can see, me and Hundo are not going to agree on a lot. So there's going to be some interesting content coming your way. We appreciate you for listening this long because we know that you are a real basketball head if you stuck around for 2 hours and 30 minutes to talk about Devin Booker leaving Phoenix. So I hope you guys are excited about the finals tonight. Tune in. It starts at 8:30. It's going to be an interesting finals. I think it's going to be a heavyweight matchup without the stars. I mean, you got SGA and Tyrese who are up and coming. So this is going to dictate what the future of the league looks like. Like I say in every episode, we don't just do NBA content. We got WNBA content. We got college football content, NFL content, women's college basketball content coming your way. Hundo even got some boxing content coming your way. So stay tuned. If you are a sports fan as a whole, man, tune into the Winning Shot and share it with somebody you like, love, even your enemies. Just send them an article or something.
Your
Keep them in
biggest
the loop. Yeah. But like always, man, we got John coming. Hundo and John are doing some amazing W content. So we got a bunch of content coming your way. We appreciate it. And until next time, peace.
Peace.